What's up, guys? 24/7 boxing highlight here. So as I predicted, Gennadiy Golovkin outperformed Kamil Szeremeta. It wasn't even a close fight. However, I did find that Szeremeta was pretty sharp during the first 30 seconds of the fight, but after that, Golovkin was able to decode him very quickly, and he was able to figure him out. It took Golovkin 30 seconds. Golovkin was able to establish his jab. His jab was very sharp and accurate. He established a very powerful jab, and I don't think that Szeremeta was expecting that. Golovkin was able to land multiple looping shots, which were aimed at the top of the head and I'd say around the ear area of Szeremeta's face. So the looping right hand was very effective. The looping left hook was very effective. So the way that Golovkin would set him up, for example, he would double up the jab followed by a looping right hand, and that was landing all night. So he would even double up the left hook sometimes. He would jab and then throw a left hook after. I find that Golovkin was able to work the body. He worked the body a little bit more than usual, but he didn't work it enough, I find. So I find that Golovkin could still work the body a little bit more for his later fights that are going to come this year, next year probably. But he does work the body a little bit more than he usually does. And one thing that I really liked from Golovkin last night was the fact that he was able to move his head very well. I find that his with his new trainer there, they work a lot on head movement because when Szeremeta would throw a jab, for example, Golovkin would slip to the right and not be touched. When Szeremeta would throw, let's say, combinations with left hooks, for example, Golovkin was able to weave under with no problem. He was making Szeremeta miss a lot that night, which is a very good set of tools for Golovkin. He was able to move his head much more. Golovkin wasn't getting hit too much, which I find that his defense improved a lot. His hands were always very high. He would block shots. He would move his head, and he was also able to score four knockdowns in that fight. The first one was in round one. Golovkin was able to set up the knockdown by hurting Szeremeta to the body with a right uppercut followed by the left hook upstairs, which knocked Szeremeta down. So he basically threw the right uppercut to Szeremeta's body, which hurt him. Szeremeta dropped his hands and backed up a bit, and then he threw that left hook upstairs, which knocked him down at the end of round number one. Luckily, he survived that round well, luckily Szeremeta survived that round to see round number two. Well, but he also got knocked down in that round. The third knockdown was in round number four, and the final knockdown was in round number seven. Now that was set up with a jab, actually. So that just goes to show you how good Golovkin's power is, because he was able to knock Szeremeta down with a jab. Well, it wasn't actually a jab; it was more of a double jab. But you know what I mean. He still got knocked down with a jab. The referee waved the fight off between the seventh and the eighth round when Szeremeta decided not to come out for the eighth. And well, I think that Szeremeta's corner and the referee took a great decision because Szeremeta was eating the canvas all night long. He was up and down, up and down. He was he was sustaining so much a really bad beating. He was getting hit with clean shots. He didn't know what to do. He just didn't have a plan B. In my opinion, Szeremeta would have had a better chance of surviving last night to round 12 if he was able to establish a jab and probably use his feet a little bit more. But I don't think that Szeremeta is able to box too much. I think his style is really to fight on the inside. And on the inside, Golovkin is just a superior boxer. You can't fight Golovkin on the inside unless you're Canelo. Last night was a beautiful showcase by Golovkin. He now holds the record for the most title defenses in the middleweight division with 21 defenses of the middleweight crown. He beat Bernard Hopkins' record of 20 middleweight defenses. So I think that Golovkin could still fight probably three, four, five more fights. I think he could fight until he's 40, given the fact that he's turning 39 next year. Uh, time's ticking for him. The time's not on his side. In my opinion, uh, Golovkin did look old last night, and I do know that that the zone wants to probably set up Golovkin versus Canelo versus Golovkin number 3. I probably at 160, but I don't think that anyone wants to watch that because, in my opinion, Golovkin could still fight elite fighters, but I don't see him beating a Canelo just due to the fact that Golovkin's just way too old. If he fights Canelo next year, he'll be 39, and he's slowing down. He's not in his prime anymore. However, I would like to see Golovkin fight Jamal Charlo though for that WBC belt to unify that WBC and that IBF. If Golovkin's able to fight on PBC, maybe make it a pay-per-view, it would be a great event. I find. If Charlo wins, he beat a Golovkin who's not in his prime, and he unifies the belt. If Golovkin wins, that's a huge win for him. Putting unifying unifying the WBC belt with Jamal Charlo at 39 years old. That would be a great accomplishment for Golovkin. And I would like to see I'd like to see Canelo fight Billy Joe Saunders in May at 168 if he's able to beat Caleb Smith tonight. I would like to see Canelo fight Billy Joe Saunders for that WBA, WBO, and WBC strap. That would be a great fight. So that's it for me, guys. Peace.